let's talk about the best budget gaming Prebuilt PCs that you can buy for the month of July in 2022. My last video was about the best overall gaming desktops that you can buy right now for different type of budgets, but today's video is going to be about budget gaming PCs, which I consider from $500 all the way up to $1,000, and I'm going to start with the cheapest one. We'll have every link down below in the description, as well with more budgets in case you have a higher one. And if your budget is below $500, I recommend you buying the Xbox Series S for around $284. To be honest, no gaming PC can beat this console right now for the price, so if you're looking for gaming at below $500, I actually recommend you going for that one, because usually Prebuilt PCs at that price point are definitely not worth the money. With that being said, let's start with the list. We are going to start with an $880 gaming PC. Like I said before, if you have a lower budget, you will have more PCs for a lower price from $500 to $800 down below in the description, as well with these PCs, so don't worry about it if you feel like this price is too much. This PC is this Kitec Chronos Mini Gaming PC. This one has the i5-10400F and the GTX 1660, and you also get 1TB of NVMe SSD, which is going to be enough to put your favorite games. Then you get 16 gigs of RAM of DDR4 at 3200MHz, which is all that you're going to need for a gaming PC at this price point. It also comes with that front mesh panel, so the airflow and cooling overall for this PC is going to be great. And the i5-10400F and the GTX 1660 is an excellent starter gaming PC combo for 1080p resolution. So if you're looking for 1080p resolution, sports titles, or just any video game, you will be able to run it at least 60 FPS smoothly. So I do recommend you buying this PC if you have a budget around $880, and this one is upgradable as well, so in the future if you want to change any component you can, because this is a system integrator. This PC also has 3 RGB fans, and the CPU cooler as well has an RGB fan. So with that being said, this PC for a starter gaming desktop is excellent, and I would recommend you buying this for the price. Then for $800, which is cheaper, we have the Victus 15L. This one has the i5-12400, which is better than the 10400F, and you get the 1660 Super, which is better than the 1660, and is actually cheaper than the last one. So in terms of performance, this one is actually better than the last one and is cheaper, but you get less RAM and less storage. You can customize this by clicking on customize and buy and changing it to at least 500 gigs of SSD, which is what I recommend, but it's going to be more expensive than the last one, and that makes sense. Don't worry about it if your budget is just $800. Buy the standard version, is going to work excellent for 1080p gaming, better than the last one, and you can add the RAM later on when you have more money. And the best part about it is that I have a 5% off coupon, so the total price will be around $750 for the standard version, but if you end up upgrading the RAM to 16 gigs and the storage to 500 gigs with the 5% off coupon, the total price will be around $920, which I think is actually a really good price for the i5 12th Gen, and the GTX 1660 Super is actually going to be a much better gaming experience at 1080p than the last one, but this one is not as upgradable as the last one because it's not a system integrator. Of course you can upgrade things like the CPU, GPU, RAM and storage, but if you want to upgrade the power supply, the motherboard or the case, you will need to buy these components. Don't worry, it's not a bad thing. If you're looking at gaming PC for the best performance, I think that this one is better than the last one, but if you're looking for something that's upgradable in the future and you can swap any single component, I recommend you going with the last one. Now on the Victus 15L you can basically change anything, but you will need those 3 components that I've mentioned. Don't worry, if you got lost, I will leave those 3 components down below in the description in case you want a Victus 15L that's also upgradable, but you will need to build it by yourself. And with the best one for $1,000, it's on a huge discount right now, you end up saving $400. We have this Kitec Archangel from Amazon. This one has the i5-10400F, great budget CPU. I know it's 2 generations older, but don't worry, for gaming it's going to get the job done. And then you get the RTX 3060, which is a top tier graphics card for 1080p resolution. If you want to go for 1440p, I recommend you going with a 3060 Ti instead, but with a 3060 1080p gaming, more than you will ever need. Then you get 500 gigs of SSD, which is going to be enough for some people, but I do recommend you upgrading to 1TB if you're thinking of installing a bunch of games. And then you get 16 gigs of RAM and a 600 watt 80 plus volt power supply for future upgradability. I think that this PC is one of the best ones out there for the price and what you can do with this PC on a budget at 1080p resolution. Of course, this graphics card also supports ray tracing and DLSS technologies, so overall a great PC. One thing that doesn't seem like it's great is the airflow. For the type of components that you're getting, you definitely don't need more than this, and it's a system integrator, so you can upgrade everything down the line. So I think that this one is the best, but if you have a budget above $1,000. I have a whole video talking about it, big tools and testing it as well, that you can watch in the top right of the screen, where you can get a PC for around $1,050 with the RTX 3060 Ti and the i5 12400 with 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gigs of SSD. Is definitely way better than this one, and just for a $50 difference. So if you have a budget above 1,000, I recommend you watching that video. And if you have any questions about these PCs and which games can you run with these PCs, at which resolution, how many FPS, let me know in the comment section and I will reply as fast as possible. And also, if you're thinking of building your own PC, which is a great thing, I recommend you watching my PC build videos. I have a bunch of them for a bunch of different budgets, and I keep updating these videos every week, and that's why I recommend you subscribing and hitting the bell button. That way you get notified when I upload this type of content and you support the channel. So thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.